Okay, so now I'm finally ready to actually start playing 1883. Still don't know why I have two round markers. I think I have to get rid of one. But, yeah, I'll keep the square one because a round marker saying round on it is confusing compared to a square marker saying round. I don't know. Okay, and I got my bank built. As usual, I had to pull out a whole bunch of 500s and 480 more to get me to the 11,000. This gives me, I think, the most flexible valuation. I could have actually pulled an extra 20 bucks and put it in and taken one of these out and had more money total. If I need the change, I can do that because I do have an extra box, but I'd rather not if I can help it. And yeah, so that gets me to the 11,000, handed out the 400 per player. What I'm going to do on bidding is what I do really on 1830, which is sort of I go by a gut feeling of how much things are worth. This is going to be similar to the Camden and Amboy, well, more similar to the Mohawk and Hudson. This is going to be more like the B&O in terms of valuation. Some of these others, I got to look at what they can do, because the Mohawk and Hudson has a special thing with it, which is that it can be converted to a share, but I think this can be too. So let's look at what these are again. So the big one comes with all kinds of fancy stuff. Yeah. The FCV gives you 10% of the FBV, which is this. Okay. That's fun. So this will come with a 10% share of that. The TMM comes with a 10% of the FMV. Okay. Unfortunately, these are not easy to see. I don't know where the FMV is. SA FMV. I think that's going to be, no, this is FS. I really wish they just had readable stuff on them. Is this it? This is the FMV. So it all, oh fuck. It also is not convertible. It just comes with that. This can be exchanged for the SV. So this acts more like the Mohawk and Hudson as a special case. Probably not something you want to start right away because of that. And looking at the different locations, especially the gray tiles, but I looked at the browns, and you know, the browns are all pretty much 40s, except for these ones that go up to gray. And what goes up to gray? Well, Modena is the most valuable, which goes up to an 80 city with the transfer. That's kind of neat. I don't think there's a transfer out here. I think that's the X, is to tell me that I can't transfer. And then the RE, Reggio, is also valuable. Where does that transfer to? Oh, gosh, I don't know. Does that go to the Parma Hills or somewhere else? We wish that there was some notation as to what cities mark to where. We're going to have to look up those transfer rules, which I don't know. They're here. Okay. There should be some component which tells me these. There's so much shit, some of which is just extra stuff printed out. So here I have the T locations, but I would expect it somewhere else as well. Okay, so Reggio goes to Bologna Firenze. Modena goes to both of these. Okay, I don't know. But anyway, Reggio is the next most valuable at 70. And then we have SA, which I don't know where that is. You have to look for that. SA. I don't know what SA is. Is that Sausalito? Yeah. Sassuolo. That is also valuable. So basically, this is the rich area of the board for late game. And we can see even in early game, it looks relatively valuable. So that's where we're going to want our companies to be. Now let's look at these. Modena Vignola. Can I find Vignola? Because that looks like it's coming with green instead. Right? Modena Vignola. Where the fuck does it start? I'm looking for something blue. That's Vignola, which is not a terrible location. Yeah. Maybe not a bad company. Here's the thing. It's going to start with a 10% share out, which means like the pen in 1830, it'll be easier to float. That's an important consideration. And the Bologna Vignola. You'd think I'd be able to find, well, Bologna's over here. That's orange. FSF, which is way up here, starting. And again, it's going to start at a lower price. Now, this is a partial cap game. I think companies start at 20%. Which means it's less important that I do anything, right? Launches that corporation. I don't see anything about operating being different. I think when a company is launched, it starts, or whatever. I'm going to look, there's an experts thing, which may tell me some of that. You know, just trying to to figure out how that doesn't help. See, this is a summary for experts. Corporations float as soon as 20% presidency is sold. Good enough. So that's what I'm looking for. So, you know, like your 1856 or whatever, but without the complexity of having to be able to put more out. I will be able to float something. So if I start, you know, if I grab this, I may want to then start that company at a high value to make my extra share worth something. The CNP has an anchor. Which one's CNP? What the fuck? The CNP is the one that gets to start the SV. Well, yeah. So he gets to convert to the SV. Which may mean I want to start the SV early. And that's starting up here at Cento. This looks cut off. I thought it was a sticker. May not be such a terrible place to start. It's a slightly higher value. And puts, oh, it's gray though. Wow, that's kind of shitty late in the game, but early in the game it's not a bad location. Other kind of nice things, I forgot to flip these over. This, whatever the fuck this is, which I think is this. That's hitting a 40 right away, has a dot in the most important city in the game. Might be particularly interesting. There are companies that are limited though. Notably the FSF is the one that can only play in the Fs, I think. But there are other companies that can't go beyond the red line, this line here. And I don't have like a list of the corporations with special rules on them. There is no way that this covers everything you need as an expert player. You can't just read through this and know how to play the game. It may answer a few questions, but you need to read the whole rules. So we look at the different things, the FS roots. Okay, so special companies that have special rules are the FSF, which is these guys, who can only place on the F spaces until the first 4 is played. And the CCFR, which cannot go north of this line. Well, the CCFR is already special enough. This thing can't exist. I don't know who gets to merge into it. You might want both of them if you can start them. So, where's the special rules on that? Oh, fuck. SEFTA, FMMSF, and FMV. FSM, FMM. I think this is actually the MMF. I don't know. Oh, God. This is the FMV. here, this blue thing. And I don't know what this other one was. FMMSF. You don't think that's it? But it might be. Do we have a list of companies? I thought we did. Oh, fuck. Okay. FSMMF. It has a red star. I don't know what that means. It means it can merge, I guess. This is the Sausalito Modena. This is the other one here, right? No. This is this one, the green one, which I was saying was one of the appealing companies. Now, is this better? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I thought it took the miners into it, but I don't remember anything about that in the rules. Anyhow, I'm trying to come up with, hey, what is worth it and what is not, just so I can get started and move some pieces. So yeah, you know, I have enough money with each player. They could start two companies at par 100 right at the beginning of the game. That often is very valuable. But I'm also going to say, yeah, but you know what? These things are very valuable too. And if I'm at par 100, that allows me to buy at most 2 trains, maybe 3 if I've got one of those free shares coming in. I think those convert into money right away. Which doesn't give me a whole shitload of cash to play with. And there's a number of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 2 trains. I think that's on the chart. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 1830 play. I'm going to roll a die. There's 6 privates. First player is going to do something with one of those 6. He goes for number 3, and he's going to put a minimal bid on it of 65. And then figure out what to do after that. My feeling is generally the privates are a good idea. There are some games where privates and minors can be a problem. I played one very recently, in fact. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of the Peterson games where you actually didn't want to overinvest in the minors, which are usually the best thing. And they're very good in that, but you don't want to overinvest in them. But I'm getting, you know, 1/6 the value, 1/4 the value, 1/4 the value. This is actually probably the worst money-wise. But that's the one he went for. And this is the mechanism I use for bidding in 1830. I'm going to swap batteries, come back and talk a little more. This comes with the FSF. That's the one up here. Oh, yeah. I'm not too thrilled with that, to tell you the truth. Like, then again, I'm not too thrilled with the B&O either. I'm not too thrilled with bidding on the B&O. Okay. He's going to go for number 2 at 45 bucks. I should switch these 2 player numbers because I tend to go counterclockwise in opposition to what the rules always say. Actually, I don't think they say anything in this. All right. We're going to just buy that first company. So, why is my thing falling down? I get 80 bucks back. We're going to move priority over here. Those first two fall at 45 and 65. There's a part of me that says starting two corporations might be the thing to do. So, since nobody has done that, of course there's this, which would only cost me 150. I can start it at 100, which means it's worth 200 bucks. Yeah, I think I want something. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to go for something. 6, he's going to put player 4 marker here and put a bid of 155 on that. It's a good deal. Actually, I think that's a very good deal, honestly, as opposed to the B&O, where you actually like only make 5 bucks off of, well, 10 bucks if you're forced into it, 5 bucks if you get the initial bid. That puts me on player 1 again. Well, it is a good deal. So we go up to 160. Everybody wants it. 165 there. I would be being iffy with other things going up this much. Go to 105 on that. I got a shot at a second. Well, I got a shot at getting this and maybe getting the third one. I'll just buy this for 80 bucks. Player 3 picked this up for 105, getting a share of the Bologna Vignola. And now, I don't know, I think player 4 has first option to bid on this thing in order. Right now it's sitting at 150, 55, 165. Huh. I don't have any prices for that, which is not good, so I'll put it over here, remembering that it's 100 more. I am holding the blue company. Where does the blue company start? I don't know. I looked this up. I think that's down here. That's a pretty good company. FSF doesn't feel like it works all that well with the blue company. It is a good buy. It's not my best deal, I think. I think I'm going to pass unless I roll a 1. So I withdraw. I am not willing to go to 170 or more. That means player 1 has a lower bid. So he's sitting on the possibility of the SV over here. I feel like this has got a good synergy. We're looking at 165. I'm going to say 1 through 4 he goes for it. He also withdraws. So player 2 gets it for 165 bucks. Now we flip through the rules to find the minors. I have the 40 buck one, which allows me to place the tile connecting these two. That's an appealing tile. And I have the presidency of the FSF, which I get to set at value. One of these has a letter on it. I'm going to set it at 100 bucks. Par. What is this extra one for? I don't know. Why do I need 3 of these? It's a good question. Maybe I have an extra of each. And that'll put $200 in my treasury, I guess. And I'll get that company. The game actually gives several spares. I have a spare of this and a spare of this. I know one of the companies, the one that only has 1 additional token, they have an option to give it the additional token. But yeah, I think these are just spares in case you lose counters, which is cool. I'm always happy with that with GMT when they do that. I'm just not used to it. So yeah. Now, when I look at this, I get the 20%. This closes it immediately. I've got to get the money, because otherwise I don't have a company. So I'm assuming I have 200 bucks in the treasury there. And where are we? Who bought? Now I lost priority, right? I lost where priority is supposed to be. So somebody bought a company straight up. It was him. So priority is going to be over here with him. And I'll set these aside and create a bag of spare counters, and I'll move those other spares into it as well. Oh, what does that mean? Well, if he has priority, he's sitting with the thing that he can exchange for the SV. But if he's going to work with the SV, obviously the best thing he can get is probably this. Now that is the FSM. That's one of the merger companies. I think it's the shitty company. No, that's the FMV there. We also have this stupid truck thing, which is like, how much is that gonna make? Right? And I don't fucking know the answer to that. Uh-oh. Remember, you have to have a 2-to-1 share situation with this SARS virus. So it's going to be really, really hard. I can't start that unless I can start something else. What was I looking for? I was looking for this company. Yeah, this is the shitty one, right? No, that's the FMV. This is, that's the blue one. This one is also shitty. The FSM. This is this one. This is the one I'm looking at. It's an incredibly valuable company, and the problem is he has the other share of it. We could make a powerful company out of it with the merger. But do I trust? Well, here's the thing. I can't afford to let him have that. This is going to make good money to begin with. So I think this is the company I want to make. Now, if I start that, say at 100, then I only have 135 bucks. If I have 400 or 335 bucks, divided by 4, I could start something at 83. Well, I don't have a lot of par choices here. I have 65, then 85. That's a big fucking jump. I think we'll start it at 100. And I am running out of batteries all over the place here. Now I'm sitting on $190 on this next player. That's a lot. That's enough that I could buy another company, I think. If I do that, though, I could lose this. These kind of don't matter. Anybody can start these suckers. Where was there was another loose share. Ah, here it is. And what is this? This is the FBV, which starts down here. I think it's only got one free. Yeah. Which is not terrible, but, you know, I don't know. If I wait, I got rid of his, that thing goes away as soon as he sets the price. It really serves no purpose. Could have just put the presidency up there with a bid price on it. That would have been perfectly reasonable. This doesn't need to be here. See, if I buy another company, I get myself into trouble. I think my best move is to pass and see what other people do. Because I can't sell shares or do anything like that, right? Now, this thing, the CCPR or whatever, where the fuck is that? That's this purple. That starts, I think, here. CCFR? I think that starts with a nominal value of 100 in that box. Not that I can sell. Which to me means, oh, and I should get that set up. Now that sucker starts here and here. Pile of trains. 100 lira token that it can play. I don't think it can play a token. I don't know. I know if it gets the 3 BIS train, it loses it. There was a specific question about that. But, like, I think operating as president, whoever the president would be for the turn, could get rid of it. Now, the presidency is going to be whoever has the highest number of railway presidencies. And then it rotates from there. Right now, that's going to be 1. Why doesn't he have his share? He paid for it. Okay. Yeah, that's going to put me over. So he passed on his first real stock round turn. That puts me to him. Now he has the opportunity to start his company high, the Bologna Vignolia, which is the FBV down here. We talked about this already. Normal amount of tokens. Has some capabilities. But maybe I want to buy something else. Like the brown. Which is what? Oh, that weird shield thing. That's Ferrovia Reggio Emilia. Yeah, so this is an important city, almost as important as Modena. I could go around to avoid that. That's interesting. Equally interesting is starting my own high so that I have lots of money. But this doesn't look like it gets to run a whole hell of a lot of trains, especially 2 trains. I'd be able to run one for 50 here, get a 2G maybe running coming down here at best. Whereas here, this is worth 30, this is worth 30. This isn't marked. I'm assuming it's worth the 30 as well. That is RE. Let's look for an RE. I mean, they go up to 40, but but I don't know, again. If there is a question, the answer is yes, they're both 30. If there's not a question, I just don't know the answer. So I'm tempted to do this because I think that's the most valuable thing that I could get. Equally, SV would be valuable as well. Who has the bonus share of SV? He has the ability to turn a share into the SV. Might have wanted to buy that because that hooks me up pretty soon here, and CC is one of these. Now CC only goes up to a 40. It's really not that interesting. It's a shitty town. PC, I think, is also a 40. PC goes up to 50, so it's a little bit more interesting and would get me the jump capability if I get a train that's big enough for that. So the SV is intriguing. This is a neat location. I wish I had a run there. I don't know. I really think this is a bum deal at this point. Like, I'm better off, although I could make money with it right away. I've got a share that I'm not cashing in at all. I thought those extra shares meant something because they meant it would get floated, but the fact that things float on 20% means no, that's not an issue. And I probably overvalued my company. Okay. I have 275. Again, I could put a 4-bid. I could buy 4 shares of something. So I could buy 2 companies at 65 each. Yeah, that doesn't sound very wise. 275 divided by 3. Could I get 3 shares of something? Calculator's not acting right. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't come up with real numbers. Okay. That sounds like a 90, and 90 is not an actual number. 85 times 3 would be 255. That would leave me like 20 bucks. So I could buy 3 shares of something under those conditions. I don't know if tons of money into something is terribly wise. What am I going to be able to run if I run this? I can run to there, I can run to there. That's 2 trains, 200 bucks. Not going to really be able to improve on that right away. And there'll be decent runs. I'll need extra money for this. Of course, I can sell shares to the bank pool, but that drops the valuation and everything, which causes me issues. So why don't we plan on buying 3 shares of this thing? That'll shift me over to the 4th player here. Now, he wanted to buy into his own. Kind of wanted to buy this. This thing is really not that great a moneymaker. That's the problem. I have a share of it. There's always the option of being the investor and buying other people's shares. Again, the bus line, not really an option, although the fact that I have 20% means I could buy a 10% share, but I got to be able to buy that presidency, so I got to hold 40% of stuff to be able to do that. So what appeals to me? I have 320 bucks. $320 by 4 is 80. 80 is not an available amount. Yeah, that didn't help. Fucking calculator is being weird. And it's funny because it comes up with this fake number. Like, it's just certain calculations will come up with a bullshit number. It's gonna always be the same. It's not like, it's like there's something fried in the circuitry. So, where are these guys there? What if, so 320 divided by 3 would be, yeah, 100. I can start it at 100. He still has a shit ton of money. Why does he have so much? He doesn't have enough to be a threat. In fact, nobody has enough to be a threat. If I start this, I get more cash. But I just don't feel like that's the company that's going to make me money. So let's look at what we got. We got the SV, not in a terrible place. We got our company, which we want it as a backup. We wanted to start this thing, but we can't. But we have 300 bucks. We could buy 3 shares of it, but he's got money to cover that extra share. So I don't really want to do that. FBV didn't look attractive to the guy who had a bonus on it. I'm sure as hell not going to do it. This guy. This is the one I can't fuck with. It's not available yet. Okay. And there's the bus line. I think the SV is the only thing of any interest, and so I'm going to start that at 100 bucks. The guy who has this private that can work with the SV, he can exchange it for a share of SV, putting value into the company, and that would give the port marker to that company. But as another option, I can sell this to another corporation and it'll give that port marker to the other corporation. So I'm going to put that there. It defaults to the SV, but I may well want to grab the cash out. Of course, it's only worth 120 bucks. This share is now worth 100. probably better off trading it in. Just like the Mohawk and Hudson is better to trade in 1830 than to try to damage a company. Well, but sometimes you want that. I'm back over here. He has 100 and something bucks. 125 bucks. Nobody's starting anything low enough that I'm terribly interested in that. I'll buy another share of my company. There we go. Puts him down to here. Now he had 175, 185, 190 bucks. I could buy a second company. Nobody has enough money to affect my FSF. But what's left is kind of the question. There's this, which doesn't really work well with the SFF. Like, the SV would have been a nice buy with that. This is far away. This is not available. There I go again. Okay. Everything in Richland is kind of missing. Now, I could also throw cash in to the FSF, but I feel like a second company is appealing anyhow. The green. I don't really want him getting both the green and the blue. But then there's also, okay, what's cheap? This brown at 85 is cheap. And I could just buy, I could just be an investor. Couldn't I? Couldn't I? And then I have $100 to invest in whatever company I want. So I'm going to go with that. And that puts me back over to him. He has $100. I am in danger of being tied in stock value. So I will spend 85 to get another share of my company. Puts me to him. He's got $100. Am I that impressed with the SV? Honestly, I'm more impressed with that thing's possible earnings. I think I'm going to run the SV slower than that. So following some 1830 type intentions, I'll buy a share of the green guy because I think that's going to make the most money. Don't know for sure. That's going to move priority if I can find the card. They all look the same to me up here because he has not enough money to buy anything. So we come back down here. He has 100 and something bucks. This thing looks likely to be a monster. Do I want more shares of my own? Nah. I want another share, or I want a share of this thing that everybody thinks is going to be so good. Because groupthink and all. That puts the pass over here. You're not allowed to sell shares on that first operating round. I think you can sell on the turn they floated, but just not that first. Pass, pass, pass. We have a single operating round between each stock round. It's a good time to pause. Okay, so we're ready to move into that first operating round, and the first thing we do is we hand out the income from all the privates. which doesn't look like a huge amount of money. Seriously? Didn't we have 4? Yeah, there we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th one. Oops. Gonna be anal retentive and always make the change. Alright, so there we go. Oh, we got our trains on that thing, and that thing runs first because it's the furthest right. But who gets to run? Yeah. So we're going to give a marker to whoever the current president is. It's the guy with the most companies. We don't have anybody who's running 2 companies, though. Right? So then we flip through these damn rolls. We do not have an event this turn. Wouldn't have remembered that there are events in this game, except they started flipping through them. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many different things. Okay, CCV. There's no cash on this thing, CCFVFR or whatever. I'm tired as hell. It's like afternoon already. And, okay. Player with the highest number of railway presidents, highest number of stock certificates, including privates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he's going to have the presidency. What color is this? This is the purple. That's not purple. So he will have the presidency this turn, and then it's going to rotate around. Now, we have to worry about its special. It's able to, until its capitalization, it can place a tile or perform an update from one of its starting bases, and can place an additional yellow. Now this is weird. Doesn't pay cost for Mountainous Hill. Cannot place nor any tile nor any token north of the FS line. I thought it got to play 2. I thought there was a specific question about it being able to play its 2. Oh, Jesus. Let's look here. We were here. Does the CCFR still have 2 tile lays and the 3rd mountain one? No. See 8.13. After capitalization, it may make updates as any other corporation, but continues to place a yellow tile. Does not play cost for that additional tile. But I'm worried here, until it can place a tile or perform an update from one of its own starting bases. It doesn't get to lay 2 ever, from what I can see. And this is the updated rolls, so unless there's, let's take a look at the pre-capitalization. Did they fuck up? Okay, the CCFR may place its 2 tiles in any order it chooses. Is this true? Yes, its 2 tiles are placed in any order. Notice the additional yellow tile must be placed after the 2 tiles. I'm not getting that 2 tile thing here. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm lost, man. I'm lost. Like, the questions seem to indicate something different from what's in here. All right. Where are its two bases? It's got one here, one here. And now it's at a transfer point, which also means that it has to worry about running from those. And now I have to worry about what the transfer of Reggio is that I can make, because I can run a deuce on this. And this is just... like, there's something that tends to indicate that it gets... in the questions, they seem to act as if it gets two track lays. But I don't think it does. But we have something that does this, that gets the double track lay. Let's see, maybe the two rules are different. Because I got something that handles track lay, CFR. So here, it can place a tile or make an update from each of its starting bases. Okay, so the two rules are in conflict. Given the answers there, and there's another one that gets to do this, FSF. Who's the FSF? That's this guy. He also gets to run from 2. But we have the FS route as well, which we have to look at. Reggio is one of them. It goes to Bologna, Florence. So I could run from here to here with a 2 train, and that would produce, I guess, $80. In addition, I'm allowed to place a couple of pieces, and I'm allowed to place a mountain piece, a hill mountain piece. Okay. This is not going to get me very much. So I'm trying to see what I want to build out, right? I'm able to run a pair of deuces, and I've got a pair of 2 Gs. Well, one of the deuces will run this. I can't play any dots ever, unless I find a source of income. I could set this up and this up, and now I'm running a 2 there and maybe a 2 down here, and now I'm allowed to build in a mountain. Without paying any money, because that's my special ability. And now I run my trains. This can go downhill, but I don't think I can connect to nothing. I think I have to hook it up to a town. At least, you know, that's how most XXs work, right? So, oh wait, I could run my 2G down here. Okay. All right, so I'm allowed to run 20, 30, that's a 2G. And 40 puts it to 70. 2Gs don't work that way. 2Gs are special. Let's find the 2G rule. I'm never going to remember all this shit. 2G trains. Okay, so I'm running a 2G down here. I got to roll a die on this. I get a 2, so it does run, but it only runs at half value. So that's 15. 15 and 40 is 55, right? It's half value, right? Yeah, round it up, so it's actually 20. So 20 and 40 is 60, and 80 is 140. So we'll pay out 14 a share. I guess its value goes up. I don't remember seeing anything about its value not going up. Let's go to the special rules for this fucking company. What did I say? 14. All right, let me pay out the 14 a share to everyone first. I can't find anything special about it not increasing in value. Okay. So it pays out, and then this guy shifts the token up to him. Now, I could have tried to see, I could have seized that money. That's good early money. 140 bucks in your pocket out of nothing. Really, really tempting. But look at what I'm giving up. It doesn't seem like it's a worthwhile value. Plus, if I'm the only person who has it left, I get the presidency kind of for free. So, if other people choose to fuck around with it. All right. So that's going to put me to the next company, which is the FSF, which we look for. It's down here. This one's allowed to build 2 tracks. Oh, those are cheap. Now this is a transfer space, which means we again have to find that transfer space thing. The place where it tells me, again, I don't have a chart that shows this, I think. I'm really disturbed by this. I have these bonuses. So much fucking shit for this game. Yeah, I don't have this chart anywhere else other than the rule book, and that's a pain in the ass. So I have Suzara here, which looks like it has a T. That goes up to here. Okay. So that's actually probably my best run. I don't know. I'm looking at a 20 and a 30. It's not great. And then what about Pugio Rusco? That goes also up on the Brenner Pass, which would again be a 50 buck run. So nothing too exciting there. And I don't have options in other directions. These are the only connections I make. As a 2 run, I get to make it for free. Even though this doesn't look like it connects, I don't know. You know, like it looks like this is on black track, and I don't think I can make this until I get an upgrade, but I don't know for sure. Now, this company is able to lay track special as well. So we go here to the FSF, and I am allowed to play on the 2 starting cities within the F spaces. This had a limitation. I don't remember if this is one that isn't allowed to build north. I don't fucking know. All right. Somebody's not allowed to build north of that line. Right? And again, it's like he cannot place a tile north of the line. Yeah. Yeah, so this can't go north of this line. That's fine. I didn't. But this thing can only go in the F spaces. And what do I want to do? Well, again, it's not absolutely clear to me what the fuck this track means, right? This looks like it's a double city with all these lays. This looks like it's a cross city until it upgrades. FSF is not the thing with the ports, right? Oh no, I do have the ports. So I can up the value of this or one of these. Those aren't anything special. I'm looking for other places there are ports. Of course, they might disappear at some point. There's a river here somewhere. And on top of all of this, I have, do I want to worry about concessions? You know, do I want to work a concession out if I can? Well, I think the orange one hits here, 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 here. So that's something that's kind of appealing. If I can start working towards that. On the other hand, maybe my fastest way to work to that is to connect these 2 cities. Because what'll I be able to run? I will be able to run, yeah, let's do that. So let's build a track here. And then the curve here, and there's no cost on that for whatever reason. Am I ever allowed to build? Yeah, after the first 4 train is sold, I think I can get rid of those F markers, but I'm not sure because no, I think I have to keep it because for all other hexes, they place and upgrade tiles as usual. Until the first, I can place a tile and make an update beginning in each of the... Yeah, I think I lose that capacity once the first 4 is sold. Okay. So I built the... So then the Fs can just go away. I built my track. I do not make money, of course. And I am allowed to buy trains. I only have $200. That's enough to buy me 2 deuces. Do I want that when I only have 2 shares of the company? And I have a lot of investment in other companies? I'm setting myself up so that I can hook this up real fast. And I don't have to actually be able to run it. But I don't know if that looks pink. I think those are the 3 pinks. These are 4 oranges here. Yeah. I'll need $60 for that. I don't have any shares in the bank pool. These don't pay out. Where are the concessions? So it doesn't give me the information on the concessions there. It does here. So orange is concession 2. That would cost me 20 bucks to form. And I could get 200 bucks out of it. I can't do it yet. I'm just looking at the long-term prospects. Now, if I buy another share, I can get more cash into my company. But that's kind of the purpose of this, is to get more cash into my company. Big question is whether I want that 60 bucks to build that. I think given that situation, I am just going to buy myself 1 2 train. I'm not in the mountains or anything, so no reason to buy a 2G. We're going to run this as low as we can. The problem with that is this only makes 50 bucks. That's sort of my maximum. Yeah, I can't do that one. This would make 40. But anyway, 50 bucks is sort of the maximum I can make off a train. That's not enough to push me forward. But getting extra money in here without having to invest sounds pleasing somehow. Okay. What's our next one? The next one's the green company over here. Well, he's got a whole pile of operating money. A lot less shares than he wants, though. And of course, I could sell shares, but yeah. All right. What's the green company trying to do? Well, I might be trying to build this in the long run. That looks hard. I don't think I can do a Modena T. I think that's this city, not this one, until I upgrade. Again, I'm looking at these tracks as crossing as opposed to junctions. It looks like this game is standard XX type, well, standard curvilinear track, I'm told I should call it. Which means that I could run, I can't run to here. I think my best run is right down here. Just hook up Sassuolo. Is that what I want to do? I guess. Get track that actually goes where we want to go. We'll build that. We got to buy a train. We can only run one train at this point. Again, unless we could hook Modena, unless we can use Modena as a transfer, which I don't think we can do. So we'll just pay 100 and grab 1 deuce. See what comes of it. And there goes our value. Now we're going to be making 70, still not enough to increase our stock value. Stocks aren't going to go anywhere in this game. All right. Interesting. The SV here. This does not have a T. These cannot be hooked in. I guess we build up to here. If we had more money in our company and we could sell a share for 90 bucks. Well, 80 bucks, 85 bucks to hook this up. We could run 2 trains, 1, 2. That's kind of shitty. This is worth 20. It's worth a little bit more. I'm trying to decide, do I want 2 trains? Well, I want income. So I want 2 trains. Now, obviously, you know what's interesting? I think I understand the presidency thing. I think I understand why you can't buy these trains as per the rules, like without it having to be anything special, is that the presidency isn't really yours unless you're running the company. And so, like, he was the president this turn. Is he still the president, or is it somewhere floating in between? It's all very, anyway, there's no way. But if he's the president right now, yeah, I could just buy all that shit and leave it as a hellhole. But yeah, we're not playing with that. So yeah, the question is, do I want another train? I could hook this up and get the same money that I would get hooking that up with 2 trains. I think I'm going to buy 2. With all my cash. And this goes back. And that puts me on the final company, which is this thing. This brown thing, which is sitting here. And we had wanted to hook this up. That cost 60 bucks. We have a fair amount of cash on board, so that's not a big deal. We get a big curve there. This is not the T, because it's on the black track only. That's how I'm deciding it, which means that we can run for 60 there. I could run up here and add another 50. That sounds pretty good. So we will definitely buy 2 trains, because I think we make good money off that. The G trains are really iffy because of the cost of building into the mountainous terrain. That if you don't already hook it up, it just kind of doesn't make sense to use one. Oh, by the way, the one that I used, I could have used this track with one of my deuces, but I was using one deuce to run this and one to run this, so yeah, I didn't have enough train for all that. That gives me that cash. Again, I did not run. We go to the stock round, and all our tokens flip off. I look all over for where priority is. I'm having real trouble finding it. It's over here. Political support cards are only $5. What am I doing? I'm running this brown company. This is kind of getting close to hooking up. Nobody wants to pay the hookup cost for the purple company. But yeah, my Brown company, I think, doesn't get to hook up until I get to increase the city. So that's not going to happen. How many deuces we got left? We got only one deuce left. The last two train, probably not that big of, not that desirable a purchase when it comes down to it. So I am not going to be buying a concession with him. I have extra companies that I have a share of, but I don't have the kind of cash that I can't get rid of anything effectively. So I'm going to spend $5 and buy a political support, which doesn't count against certificate limit, of course. That puts me up here. Instead of a die, I'll move the round marker around to help me remember what the hell I'm doing. And what's his deal? He has 25, 35, 45, 49 bucks. It's not really enough to buy anything. I've lost money on all my shares, so, you know, I don't want to sell them off unless I'm being threatened. I also, oh, it wasn't $5 for a political card. Shit. Sorry, it's $10 for a political card. It's a little more iffy. That's real money. I'm scared that there might be something that requires multiple political cards, so I'm buying one as well. The SV is not able to hook anything up contract-wise very easily, mainly because this is stopped by that one company. So yeah, even if I set things up, I wouldn't be able to. Now here, I could work on this, but I don't have 2 track lays or anything like that, so I'm not in a really powerful position to be buying concessions. So he bought his second. That moves me over here. What's his situation? Not a whole hell of a lot of money. I like the company I have. There's one company I'm able to buy. I don't remember which one. Fuck. It is the $40 one that is able to be bought. That's what I thought it was. Yeah. So this one, and it has special rules. Oh fuck, I lost my page. Tile and hex 20. Oh. So I spent this money hooking this up. This guy had the train that allows him to do that. He no longer has any real bonus in doing that. He was willing to, Brown was willing to. This guy was willing to lay the track there. So this is kind of like, you really want that Brown company if you have this. Yeah, I can't remember. You know, I can't remember the privates. Most of them don't do anything too special. And this is the only one that would have been available right now. So what's he doing? He passed, right? I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. He passes. He doesn't want to spend $10 on a political card. Fuck it. I have a lot of stuff, but I'm losing money on most of it. I too will pass. All right, I think we're all passing around. Nothing is sold out. So we'll be going into the operating round. And we're going to stop there. I'll put this here to remind me. That's what we're doing. Oh boy, am I fatigued. All right. Okay, I paid out all the privates, and we have an event. Railway strike. Each railway corporation has to pay a political support card, or its route will be halved, rounded down. And these numbers here are which parts of the deck that it's included in, I think. Not positive. So strikes will always go into the deck, essentially. Okay. Well, I don't know when I do this, but to be honest, it feels like the political support might be too much of an expense to put on half value. We'll see in each individual case when I calculate out the run. I'll make the choices when I calculate the run. Okay. So that's going to put it on the CCFR or whatever it is called. Here. That is what it is called. All right. That is allowed to play 2 pieces, none of which can be north of here. 1 deuce runs the jump on the red line. Can't do anything in between. It can only go from here to there. Well, I think it's to there. I can't remember. And another deuce I'll run here. The 2G can run down this way. And if I build track here, I can run another 2G down this way. And that'll be the free track. I have 2 more track lays, but there's actually nowhere I can play until the green track becomes available, because, well, I'm not sure. I might be able to build 3 mountain tracks. Let's look at how this is worded. Till its capitalization, it can place a tile or make an update from each of its starting bases on the tile south of the route. See, now, up till its capitalization, CCFR does not pay any mountain or hill terrain cost for none of its posting. So actually, I think I can play 3 mountain tiles, which would get this connected. He's playing, he's got the SV, connecting that up and getting rid of the concession doesn't seem like a terrible idea to me. So I think I'll be playing 1. I guess 2 to there. I don't know. And I'm able to go from here to here because that does go downhill, even though it goes over another mountain. Is there other track that I'd want to play as this player? Not particularly. So yeah, I'm going to just play these 2. I forego 1 track. Now, I have 2 deuces, which runs me, and these are not affected by strikes, if I recall correctly. There was a specific question about that in the clarifications, right? Until capitalization, the CCFR is not affected by strikes or events regarding the corporation. This is not clear. Do you mean no random events affected until capitalization, or just strike has no effect? Neither. The events that always affect CCR, there are events that always affect the CCFR, example, the landslide, and other events that affect it only after capitalization, strikes, railroad accident. This doesn't specify. Let's take a look. Maybe there's a whole list of these fuckers in here, but this is ridiculous, right? Now I need some kind of bookmark for what I'm doing so that I can page through this and find the event card. Because maybe the cards don't tell me everything they need to, which means summary of rules for experts. Is it the glossary? Okay. Should be number 9, railroad strike. This event affects the affected this event affects the railroad corporation. SARSA is not affected, and CCFR is affected if it already capitalist. Yeah, so I guess the cards don't tell you. You've got to look up every card in the back of the rule book, because they just don't tell you enough to be able to apply any of them. So every time an event card comes up, I think we're going to have to page to the rule book, which is a dumb way to do things. Don't use cards if you're going to do that shit. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we're not affected. So what did we say? We're running at 30 and 50, I think, is 80, 90, 120, and then the downhills. This one is worth 15, so I'm at 120. I don't remember. So we have to look for the 2G rules. I think 7 is a problem, but maybe it's 8 and 9 that are problems. 7 is fine. Okay, so I was at, well, I got to recount. 30, 80, and 40 is 120, and 15, they're rounded up, I think, individually, but that feels stupid. So I'll just do 15. We'll round them afterwards. 135, and then another 20, as these are both 20s. It's coming downhill this way. 155, so it's going to be 16 a share. That will send the value up. Now I could cash my card in and pull $160. The 2 trains aren't anywhere near ready to die yet, so I think I'll get better runs. So I'm going to take my 16 a share. Because again, $160, this is worth about that. This concession is hooked up and nobody had it, so it just disappears. And those go away as well. I haven't put these away either. I don't know. We'll figure out our way through that. That puts it on the next company, which will be the FSF. FSF is down here. There are no other investors, so only his 20% is in there. The stuff in there doesn't count. Although, oddly enough, I could release shares and thus create an income flow into the company. Really, really fucking weird, is all I have to say. Does not make a lot of sense. Son of a bitch, he wanted to buy that concession back in his stock round, and I forgot to do so. He was the one person who wanted to buy a concession. He would be buying the number 2 orange concession, which would have cost him 20 bucks from the company. He had the cash on hand. That would actually have moved priority here. So I'm gonna just retroactively do it because I'm just too messed up in terms of like trying to track this game. For example, this goes over here. This is just too big a deal, like, and he really, really wanted to do that. So this would have paid 20 bucks to get concession number 2. Concession number 2 would have been set up with a 4-turn delay, and I'll pay the money. The thing is, if I wasn't doing the concession, I would have bought another train. So like, kind of screwed either way if that didn't happen. Now this guy, he was not taking a concession. He was considering, but mainly he only has one route he can run. All right, so this guy set up, I took care of his costs, I moved the priority over, and now this is pink, this is orange. I'm only allowed to hit 2 hexes. But I have the concession, that's useful. This doesn't do me any good. So no one can interfere here. Someone could conceivably interfere here, so I'm going to pay the 60 bucks. I'm able to lay 2 tracks because I'm connected now. My run is still going to be the 50 run, I think. I don't see anything I can do that's better than that. So at 50, I'll pay 5 a share, but that doesn't increase me, that doesn't give me any ground. So I get 10 bucks into here. The fact that I have this concession, I'll be setting it up next turn. That'll give me another 200 bucks in here. It'll give me enough money to play around with a 3 train, so I don't have to keep buying shares and I don't have to release shares or anything like that. So that feels like a good idea right now. The next company is the green one. The green one is running a 2 train, tons of money. My best run, okay, we had decided Modena can't be a transfer because the red track is where this city is. This city is not yet connected to that. This is a bridge or something. So I got that 70. I could buy another train because next turn I'll be able to make it, well, no, I won't be able to make it anywhere useful. Until the green track comes out, I'm not able to go anywhere. And this counts as yellow track that has to be upgraded. So, I mean, I could swing down to here and get an extra 10 bucks. You know, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, so I could run a 50 extra off another deuce. I don't really think that helps me though. And I can't even take advantage, like if I dot this, I can't take advantage of the hill. The question is, of course, where do I want my second dot? If I want it here, and that's not necessarily a bad place. Problem is, there's not a lot of value down here. I don't see a lot of lettered towns. I guess there's EN here. That could go up in value. PC is over here, it could swing around. Just looking, I think I'm better off going north. So that means I kind of don't want my dot right here. Might want it here. That might be my best location. So that gets me into Bologna, which is worth a lot. That's something else to consider. Some of these offboards get to be the same value as the biggest city. Yeah. So I will simply run my 70. I think if I'm gonna do that, I guess I'll just go straight. Well, I could look at the green things. That's a 30 for CC. What's PC? Oh, PC is here. PC goes up to 30 as well. Yeah, not terribly valuable. These just don't get to be that interesting. The only reason they have letters is they have these. I don't know where Perisquito goes. I don't know where I find those routes either. Fuck. Oh, it's only in the rule book. It's only in the rule book. And it's not in the special rules, so it's before this. This goes to Verona Brennero, which is quite valuable. I think, oh, this is PC. Wow, these are both PCs. Interesting. Well, PCs weren't terribly interesting. Where does Castelfranco go? That goes to Bologna, Florence. That would be this one. Yeah, I think we're gonna curve. Up this way. And we will run our 70 train. Who are we running here? We're running the Green Company, whatever that is, which is not going to make us money, but it does make 7 a share, and a couple of people have shares of them. See, the corporations don't make a lot of money on this unless, because they're not making stock value, they're not gaining any ground. I lose the initial stock value and then don't get any increases. But anyway, I have a shit ton of cash. Now, I could make more money by shifting shares into the bank pool at a loss. Would rather not do that. I have a fair amount of cash. Do I want another choo-choo? You know, they're only $100. If I'm going here anyway, let's buy it. That makes the 3 trains available. When the 3 trains come out, and I actually have enough money I could buy a 3 train, Modena Green RPC. Modena Green goes up to 50 from the 40 that it's at, and it connects, which means I'd be able to do T runs from there. We're going to buy the first 3 train as well. We're allowed 4 trains in each company. Now, that just changed things. We just entered another phase. I know the green trains are available. Stock round, 2 operating rounds between stock rounds after this. Floats go up to 110 possible. Still 4 trains. Privates can be purchased now. The low value of the external box still played. Random events from the first deck. Anchor's worth plus 20. We haven't seen anybody do an anchor. Can't keep track of everything here. I got an anchor here, so I could actually sell this. I could grab $100 out of my pocket, get this, and get an anchor. Unfortunately for me, I'm not really near an anchor. I don't feel like just hurting the company. I'm actually trying to build this sucker up. Do I want to release shares? Not really. I've gotten a lot of shares out. I could do a swallow if I need to for that extra cash. Okay. So that's going to put me to the SV. I'm going to take a little break because I need a smoke. But that's going to put me to that SV. Where's the round marker? I lost it somewhere. There it is. So he gets to run his company next. Yeah. I forgot about political support cards. FSF ran for 7, was it? Okay, it's halved, rounded down, which means I think I owe like $4. Oh, shit, I think I only gave him 7 instead of 14. I don't know. I'm so tired. Green's run. No, he shouldn't have been 7. He should have been. Let me get. It took $7 away. He should have run instead of at 50 or 5 a share, which should have gotten him $10. I don't even know if I fucking paid him. Instead of 5 a share, if I didn't pay him, he just lost $5. But this guy has to lose, I don't know, it's rounded down. So instead of $7 a share, it would go at $3 a share. So I owe $4 a share off everybody. So I straightened out the money because for these low amounts, it's just not worth paying a card I had to pay $10 for, right? I'm not making that much extra money. So yeah, I will be on him with the SV. And good God. That 3 train does something that the 3 train, that the phase change doesn't mention. After the first 3 train is sold, a 2 is placed in the bank pool and the CCFR receives a 3 train. After the 4, it'll get a 4 train. So this goes away and we get this. There's oh no, there's 2 more. These are kind of sticky. Okay, just making sure. Yeah, so there's 2 more 3 trains left after I get a free one for that company. That company just gets trains. And the way it produces trains, to me, you know, it would definitely create a problem because there wouldn't be trains to put back if you were allowed to buy the trains off of it. All right. I don't know what I was intending to do with the yellow train. I guess I could have chunked it into there. I got a pair of deuces on it. But now I can actually do something better with it. In particular, I could run from here to somewhere else. Like I could have run from here down to here for 10. I was thinking about this, but I don't have the cash for that. I'm not the company that gets 2 ports. That's this. This has not hit a port yet, I think. Okay, the ports are drawn in on here. There aren't a hell of a lot of them. I see 2 up there, 1 over here. I think that's all there is. But remember, they're more valuable early in the game. So once I hook that up, I probably want to drop a port on it. Where's the other one here? It's this space. Well, I might want to play this port. That gets an extra 20 bucks. I don't have the trains to run it yet. I'll hold off. But I'm actually, now that 3 trains out, I think I have both available. Okay. What's the SV want to do? I think I go down here. That's getting me close to hooking this up. And this will allow me to run the Parexeso. Yeah, we gotta look. We gotta look again. We're gonna have to do this all game because these are not, there's no play aid that has these. Okay, this goes to Verona Brennero, which is not as good as this. This will only be a 50 run. Plus I don't have a dot for it. So I'd be better off connecting this for 50. Okay, we're going to look for the track that goes there. Now that has a T, that's okay. 2 PC tracks are different, and I may want this one. I may want some influence over what this one is. For example, I like that. And I'm not opposed to this. So I'll lay my track like that. Put the other PC back. That allows me to hook these 2 up. They're kind of interrelated. They either go away from each other or towards each other. The only problem with it is not being able to hook to this, but I can do it through here and then get that link up. And I may want to get that concession at some point soon. Although I have no cash, which is definitely a problem, and you either full swallow or half swallow. You don't have an in-between. And yeah, so we may be in some trouble there. What that means is I get to run my 2 deuces, and I will run one for 60 and one for 60. That's 120. The alternative would be, I can't go through here. I would need a dot to be able to make that run. So I think I'm just going to run at the 60. While I want to buy that concession, yeah, I'll swallow the 60. How about that? We'll swallow that 60 bucks because that gives me, I think, the cash for the concession. I'm going to want to buy the purple concession, which is 8 and only costs 10 bucks. So I just need a few more bucks for that. Well, lira. So I'll put 60 bucks in the company treasury. Nobody else is involved in my company, so I'm just kind of hurting myself a little bit. For the last of the companies, we're going to hook this up. And this doesn't have a choice. Has to go like that. That increases it So I can run, I don't know what this is, it's RE. We look for that. Reggio Emilia to Bologna. This is still first number. So this would make 90, 130, 160. If I play a political support marker, I go forward. But if I don't play a political support marker, half of that's still 80. Did I pay out my money? No, he swallowed. Okay. So I go forward without paying out a political support and pay out 8 a share. Is there a token I'm interested in? Yeah, kinda. I think I can work my way towards this route possibly. Conceptually, I could make my way towards that route. I don't think there's anything else, but I may be interested in taking a concession. I don't think I want to work this. That's a lot of effort, but other options, I think this one goes from Vignola up that way, so that's not very appealing. Just looking to see, do I want cash somewhere? I could have upgraded this. That would have cost me 40 bucks. This gets me more money. All the companies went. The concession drops down one. These flip over. And we're back in a stock round. I find this. I put it up here. Priority is with him. And he's got enough money for another share of something. In addition to whatever is going on, I could have bought some of these. It's not a terrible idea. Maybe I want to buy one right now, actually. I don't really need the cash. I don't have enough to make this worthwhile. And this one, the 40 bucks that I could drag out of my company isn't really going to help me. And I think just limits my capabilities a little bit. Although, of course, I could buy more shares with that. I'm going to call that it for this video. And we are going to load it up, I guess. And yeah, I'm very, very tired so far. All right.